Working with Brian at Strategy Ladders has been a game changer for my business. I've been working in the technology digital space now for over a decade, and I've worked with a lot of consultants and I've worked with a lot of advisors. And I'll tell you that it is extremely rare to spend money on an advisor and a consultant and feel like you even got your money's worth. Um, with Brian, I feel that my investment is worth four or five, six, seven times what I pay for him to engage. I think what's um, really helpful about working with Brian is when other people actually ask me to explain what he does for me. My newest venture, I am the only founder. I used to have two partners. I almost tell people that he's almost like my outsourced co-founder. He is able to think at a very high strategic level through really critical questions for my business that have long-term implications to the profitability and the growth of my company. And what I love about working with Brian is, for me, it's somebody that I can go to think through very hard strategic questions about my company as I would with a co-founder. But I don't have to deal with having to deal with co-founders because I've had to deal with that before. So you get all the benefits of working with somebody who can think strategically about your business, but um, doesn't come with the downside of actually having co-founders. I will say that my last company that I built, while it was successful and we generated a lot of revenue, it wasn't very efficient and it wasn't very profitable. And there were some big mistakes that I made early on that became really hard to rectify later on because so much was built on top of it. And what Brian's been able to do with my newest venture is really help me focus, not only about the highest leverage activities that I need to be doing day to day, but the downstream impact that has not only on the profitability of the company, but the scalability of the company, and making sure that I stay focused on things that really matter right now rather than um, working on things that make me feel like I'm making progress, but I'm not actually making progress, which is a trap a lot of entrepreneurs fall into. So one of the reasons that I enjoy working with Brian so much, and I don't have any issue spending money with him, is because I can actually financially see the return on my investment. We've only been working together now in this current venture for about 3 or 4 months, but since he's joined, I have been able or on the verge of closing close to six figures, which is pretty incredible. Which I'm pretty confident without him, that wouldn't have been possible. So it's very easy for me to understand how I'm making my money back. The last thing I'll say about Brian, what's great about working with him is he stays up to date on the latest trends. So one of the ways we're actually trying to generate business right now is via LinkedIn. And what's interesting about LinkedIn is it's becoming very popular. So the strategies to engage on LinkedIn to drive business are changing every single day. So he's not the type of person who comes up with a strategy and just says, hey, this is the strategy. It's constantly evolving as the market's changing, which I really appreciate because specifically in the work that I do, everything moves so quickly. So if you don't have somebody that keeps up to date on the latest trends and tactics and is really out there himself testing and figuring out what works, it's not going to be helpful to entrepreneurs.